Right guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is really important. I'm going to share with you how to stay down through the golf ball. So many golfers we see have this type of movement at the downswing, early extension. The hips are thrusting forwards towards the ball. What does the spine and the head do? To compensate, it goes up. So we lose our spine angle here. It is a disaster move. It causes so many issues to do with the strike location, the power input, and the ball turf interaction. So it can cause tops, it can cause fats, just all sorts of things from there. What we want to do at the start of the downswing is actually feel like we are lowering our spine towards the golf ball. And that's a feel that scares many golfers because they're worried about hitting the ground. But I'm going to share with you why you need to do that. And I'm going to give you two amazing drills to help you do so. So, as I said, this is all about staying down through impact. And it needs to feel like we're doing this in that very first movement as we start the downswing. When golfers early extend, the first movement is their hips, their pelvis moving towards the ball, their pressure moving towards their toes, and the compensation tends to be the spine, the head going back, because otherwise they're going to strike the ball way out the heel of the golf club over here, the neck, the hosel of the club. So the feel that we want to get is the opposite movement. I would always encourage golfers to really try and feel like they are creating this bowing movement, lowering their spine. But the way I want you to achieve this, start of the downswing, what you're going to take to the course after some practice time, is we're going to make sure the hips move forwards and back. And I'm really going to focus on my lead hip. So for me as a right-handed golfer, my left hip, the one that's closest to the target. So I want to feel like my left hip moves towards the target, but also starts to pull back. Okay? So really starting to pull back. Now the major difference here is when I'm in this downswing position, most of my pressure is into my lead heel. Whereas when golfers early extend, their pressure is going out to the toes. So that brings me to the first exercise. All you need to do is grab a couple of clubs and we're going to stand on the grips. So we're going to put the club faces pointing down towards the ground. And we're going to have the grips about a foot or so apart, wider for a longer golf club. You're just going to stand. So the club grip is actually through the middle of the shoe, the arch of the shoe here. And we're straight away going to be able to feel where our balance points are. Now what I want you to do is make some rehearsal downswings where the pressure, because this movement, goes into the left heel. Now if my pressure is into the left heel, my left toe will be elevated up in the air. Whereas when pressure is going towards the toes, the heels are up, and you're going to feel like you're going to fall forwards, which again is why golfers do this. So all the focus for me is onto that left hip, that lead hip. I'm going to get the sensation of hips forwards. Okay, so that's getting my pressure going forwards. We need our pelvis to go forwards, and left hip back. Forwards and back. Can you see what that's starting to do to my spine angle? This is what I want you to practice a lot of, is how to get the club into that position. Now, I'm not focusing on my arms falling or the club dropping or shallowing. I'm focusing on what my left hip is doing. And that automatically is starting to get me into this slot, this great position with the club in the downswing that we really want to start to see. So the club is shallowing, it's on plane, all those things, all those great things that we want. But I had no focus on it. All my focus was on this left hip. So I'm going to do it nice and slow. I'm going to actually hit one, but I'll just do some rehearsals with this movement. First of all, I'm going to do a real slow pace swing, focusing on that lead hip. And you can see I'm in quite a curtailed, sort of cut-off finish position, only because I'm trying to exaggerate motions here. But my left toe is way up in the air. Any pressure that is on my trail foot, my right foot is towards the toe, but most of my pressure is left heel. My butt feels like it is back. My left hip feels like it pushed back here. And if that happens, can you see how my lead leg here is starting to straighten? What we often see when golfers are sort of early extending this way, they still have a lot of flex, a lot of bend in this lead knee. We really want that left leg, that lead leg, to start to extend and straighten. And I guess that's the big concern, isn't it? When golfers are trying to stay down through the golf ball, what do they think they're going to do? They think they're going to fat the shot. They think they're going to plow the club into the ground because they sense that they are going this way. Now, if you are someone who's going this way, you exaggerating this move, you probably, if you get it on video, won't be doing it. You'll just maintain posture, and that's fine. But if we do go down, which we see with most elite golfers, is their spine's going this way in the downswing. Why don't they hit the ground early? And I'm not going to go too deep in this, but it's really that their body is actually moving up through impact. The lowest point of the handle is before they get to the golf ball at this last parallel. Their lead hip and leg and shoulder is moving up. The handle is starting to rise. The only reason the club is still moving down is because of losing that angle in our wrist, down cocking our wrists here. So we want that upward movement, and it is a power source because we're using the ground reaction. We're pushing down and jumping up. So let me do one more. I should quickly show you the wrong move, and you're going to go, why would I want to see that? Just so you can understand the difference between it. So if I early extend here in the downswing, and that's a very common strike, right out the hosel. My hips went forwards, my pressure went toes. I tried to hold balance by spine straightening, but I hit that right out, ugly, right out of the neck of the golf club. It was a definite shank. And that's often what we see when golfers early extend. But I do get some who catch out the toe because of how well they compensate with the head going backwards. So all over the show, really. So what do we want to feel? Left hip forwards and back. There we go, okay? And I know I'm, again, finishing this curtailed finish, but great drill just standing on the clubs. So the second drill we're going to do is we're going to set up as normal, then we're going to slide the club through our hands. So we are gripping way down the grip. So my trail hand, my bottom hand, is actually going to be on the steel or the graphite of the shaft here. It's important to set up as normal first. So I'm the right distance away from the ball if I was holding at the top of the handle. Slide the club through my hands, so I'm gripping down by probably 4 inches or so. That's going to mean the club head is 4 inches or so above the ground level. So what I've got to do in the downswing is get down to the golf ball. Now I could cheat and do that more with the knees. You'll feel like you're sinking. I want you to get the sensation that you're doing it by bowing. So again, my focus is lead hip. It's moving towards the target and it's being pulled backwards. So when that happens, look at this delivery position here where I've really got my back angle, my spine. That's what I want to do. So normal backswing, but bow in the downswing to get down to the golf ball. Now you might get that path a little bit more out to in like I did there. So see perhaps a little pull or a fade. Don't worry about that. If we're aiming for a draw shape, you know, yeah, you could put a little focus into start line and therefore get that club swinging a little bit more from in to out. But really my focus point is what my body is doing. If I can keep myself in posture, I can always change my path quite quickly, quite easily, depending on what shot I want to hit. I'll try and hit one a bit more neutral in terms of the ball flight. But I'm going to go same drill, set up as normal, slide. So we're 4 inches or so down the handle, bow in the downswing, left hip, forwards and back. Okay, so that was a more neutral ball flight, I'm pretty sure. Started more on target before drawing, but really got that sensation of what the lead hip is doing. Now, it may be that you don't want to use this as a swing thought on the course. So what you would do in that case is there's loads of dead time on a golf course. There's loads of time walking and waiting. So that's the time you can do the practice drills and exercises, exaggerate that motion. If you do want to take the swing thought to the course, I would perhaps focus on that left hip, forwards and back. But you may prefer that sensation of bowing. Is up to you. You need to try it first on the practice area, driving range, to see what you like, and then you could take that to the course. I'm going to put a little bit of focus in my practice swing of what my left hip's doing, forwards and back, and I'm not going to overthink it in the swing. I'm just trying to create a similar feel. Well, that's felt amazing. That was really, really solid. Good ball flight, good distance. I'm demonstrating this with an iron. This is still relevant with a driver. We still don't want to see this early extension movement, do we? We still want to maintain posture in the downswing. So the same drill, same exercises are still very relevant. The grip down one might be a little hard to do, but definitely standing on the clubs with the driver or the fairwoods, very doable, focusing on that lead hip, and you'll get the sense of the pressure more into that lead heel in the downswing rather than out to the toes. If that video has helped, smash the like button, put some comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content just like this.